Call this meeting to order, determine there's a quorum. Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself, we have a quorum. Now please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Order. Commissioner Flores.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I waited till everybody got.
I know.
I said, Commissioner Flores, could you take off? Approving the minutes, we did have minutes.
Move.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. 5-0 vote. Citizens' comments? And none. Approving subdivision plats?
I have something on item 36 and 37.
So we're good. We'll just go to that. Okay. And none. Approving certificates of compliance? None. Approving monthly reports for elected officials?
Move. Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Approving bills to be paid?
Move. Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. 5-0 vote. New election equipment demonstration by ES&S. We just have 400 and, Mr. Ramon is like 460 some odd thousand or something.
What you go?
Matt, it was right, 460 something. Yeah, change. Okay. I asked them to bring the machines so we could take a quick look at them, and sort of demonstrate them for us. That way the court would be able to, we've seen this when they bought it the last time, but now that we've actually they're already through the process, I asked them to bring it to the court. That way y'all could look at it if y'all want to take a quick moment and, walk up there and he'll demonstrate them for us. That way, if we get questions asked, what we're looking at.
When are we expecting delivery of everything?
When are we expecting delivery?
We
Mr.
got
Ramon?
delivery last week.
Oh, you've already delivered all the machines?
So we're ready for training.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Good job.
And, I think, Mr. Ramon, you had said that at some point we would have some training, or not so much for your staff, but for citizens?
Yes, sir.
At
We're
different
working on a
locations?
calendar right now. We're just waiting to firm up locations. And we will start that in June and work July and August, for the public.
Okay. That'll work. If y'all want to go take a look at this machine, and we'll switch cameras. I'm not going to, ask for recess, that way we can all look and they can see what we're looking at. I'll move the little camera that way.
Let me know what they look like.
Go ahead.
Well, let me know what they look like. Turn them on, so you can punch some keys or see what happens.
Judge. Morning. How's it going?
Give you your information.
Judge, may I say something?
Get in the elevator.
Sir, the card, and be able to make electrical training.
It comes back after Monday. What do you think?
Which one you like? Well, you like that one, but we already bought this one.
Well, you're gonna have paper trail. If you wanna go ahead and front of that. Those are type areas that we sort of are.
This wasn't your precinct, Marty.
The same rule of rule.
También, mírala esta. Juan, you never been up there? Tomen un picture ahí en un lado y una de esas.
You can always come back and wait 2 minutes.
It's pretty sharp.
You go back
Yeah.
and
You need that next.
you. Where's the times button?
We're placing their dead people.
Only 50.
Tom said, how many will the machine allow us to
Make sure you don't hit the Shrek button.
use?
Wait a minute.
Who's that main guy up there on that screen? The mean looking guy on the screen. Who's that guy?
The guy with it?
Yeah.
He's with Tech.
Oh, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
How do you vote for this? You know, I wanted to vote for somebody else.
I was smiling, he heard me probably. Smile, man.
What is the bar for? You use the hard paper ballot?
That's correct. The person is capable of carrying multiple signs, the full size out.
Oh, okay. So this will solve the problem we have with the COVID ballots.
Those are valid use.
Or not.
Correct.
Okay.
How many of these do you want to get to this?
Katie,
She got off there.
How many of these do we have?
Yes, sir.
how many of these things do we have?
How many of the machines?
Yeah.
How many of the machines?
Jay, how many did we buy?
You what?
Yeah, how many did we buy?
I think we're looking at, 23, 25.
Of the big, the
Yeah.
ballot reader? And then how many of the touch pads?
I think it's, 30, 40. Hold on. I have my list here. We haven't finished our inventory. They just finished unpacking.
Oh, that sounded good.
Okay, there's 19 of the DS200s, which is the one that, does the, scans the ballot. And then we have 80 of the express vote, which is the white one that scans your ballot, that lets you vote, mark your ballot.
Did you get that?
What'd you like? They look like,
And then we have
they look pretty good.
one, DS450, which is the one we're going to use for the mail ballots.
It's this one, Sean.
Okay. But he was saying you could run the mail ballots through the other one?
This machine is capable of
Yes.
accepting both of them.
The DS450, that we did not put on display for you this morning, but it is what we use for the ballots that are submitted by mail, for the people that vote by mail. And it is a lot easier because, I have asked the vendor to modify, not to modify, but to, when the ballot is printed out for you, that you take it and you put it into the scanner.
Mm-hmm.
I've asked, that we be able to print a whole ballot for someone that's voting by mail so that we can use the one system and avoid the folded ballots. However, the military ones are gonna be folded. They're gonna come in that way no matter what. Because they can print out their own ballot and print it, mark it, and send it in a certain way. So the DS450 is what is gonna be scanning the folded ballots that we receive by mail.
And it should resolve the issue we have now with the folded ballot?
As far as speed, absolutely. I've seen the 450 work and it is as smooth as anything. I mean, there will be, this November will be the first time we use the equipment. So the Secretary of State will want to confirm what we do. ES&S will be on site for the election because it is our first one with the new equipment. And so I'm not ruling out anything, but it seems like from what I've been shown so far, the process is going to be a lot easier than what we've had to do before.
And the machine, the one that, I think the last time they were down here, the machine, the one that they were talking about to read the mail-in ballots, they were explaining that it actually had more rollers. within the machine, that way it wouldn't bog up and wouldn't, just the design inside was different.
And it stretches the ballot versus letting it crumple up from the polls.
Are these machines electronically connected back to your office from the polling places, or do you actually have to bring the chip and the stuff back with you?
No, there will be a computer set up in my office, and there will be, the details of the on-site voting will be backed up to that computer so that we can view it as it's going. Also, we will require the judges to bring back their information anyway, because we have to verify that information.
Yeah, and just for clarity, when you say viewing about what's going on, it's the total number of ballots. We won't be able to see exactly what the vote count is in your office as it's going.
Yes, sir, it's only voter turnout.
So we have to have modems on each one of these
I'm sorry?
hotspots? We have to have Wi-Fi hotspots?
Yes, we had just bought some because of the new poll packs that we have. I think we have enough, but if we don't, then we're going to be checking that out and making sure that we have enough.
And I think a couple of places that we had, issues, were in Comstock, and then at the fairgrounds a little bit. So with what was spent at the fairgrounds, this past week,
We're just gonna
we went
fix
from
that.
speed from 100 and something to 6 something. So we should be okay at the fairgrounds. The only thing we'll need to look at is going to be, Comstock.
He got all that resolved in Comstock.
Okay.
So laid out. Yeah,
Just to give you a little more detail on that, you do need internet connection for your poll books. That will give you numbers, how many voters you should have already.
If you don't mind, why don't you come up here, that way we can hear you a little bit better, if you don't mind.
What I'm trying to say is, the question about having internet access on those locations, that's for your poll book, not for our equipment. Our equipment is not connected to the internet at any point.
okay. So
Okay?
it's just the poll books that are
Yeah,
connected?
so then what it'll require at the end of the day will be to close the polls, then that we have a USB device that you remove, bring it to the office so we can tabulate it on the computer, and also you will have to bring your ballots.
Okay.
Okay.
So there'll be no connection, actual
No
internet
connection.
connection to the machine itself?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all have any other questions? No?
Commissioner Nettleton, the Secretary of State requires that you not be connected to the internet
It's for bank?
when we're doing the election.
Hers?
Okay,
Thank you, Jamie.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Sir.
Item number 11, this one here is, we need to go out for a certificate of obligation. It's through the Texas Water Development Board. There was a grant, it's part grant, and then part, we'll need to borrow some money, but we need to, it's a different process, than what they usually do. Usually we sign a note with them. Now they're wanting us to go through the process and issue certificates of obligation. And then at the point they would bid on them and buy them back, and we'd be paying Texas Water Development Board, but we'd have to go through this process.
I move that Commissioners Court adopt a notice of intent resolution.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 12, requesting permission to have a Memorial Day candlelight vigil on Sunday, May 30th, 2021, Howard County Courthouse. Motion. Have a motion, Commissioner Wardlow. Second. You second.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 13, Auditor's Report. Have a motion? Don't have a motion. Don't have a motion. We're gonna go to item 14, budget adjustment from available appropriations. Before we get into this, there was, we moved some money
50?
for King County. I think I've got it on item 29. I know that we were running low on funds there in contingency. That's where we wanted to pull the money. Let's go to item 29. Sheriff, discussion of possible action on budget adjustment for funds that were set aside for Sheriff's Office out of contingency put back into contingency.
Which one?
That was at 16,000 that we'd set aside to go pay Kenny, and I think Sheriff said we got paid. Remember, we'd set aside $16,000 to pay an invoice, that Kenny was gonna pay to Geo?
Oh, the $10,000.
And we set aside 16.
Okay, but it was a $10,000 reimbursement
No, that is.
for the boiler.
No, this was not
Okay.
the boiler.
Okay.
This one,
Was the doctor bills that Geo, that they had refused to
for
pay?
20 some odd $1,000, but we only set aside 16.
We receive it?
It went directly to Kane County.
So it was paid. That, we don't have to pay it.
Okay.
So therefore, we'll take that 16 that we set aside and put it back into contingency and not have it restricted for the sheriff's office. I just want to make sure that we have the money in the contingency and it's not still set aside for the sheriff's office.
Okay. All right.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, you second it? Second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
And it was 16,000 that we set aside for the sheriff,
So it was just reserved in contingency.
for the sheriff, and now it's not.
Now it's not. So we're back to a $200,000 balance and there's $6,500 reserved for Pope Hall.
I'm sorry.
There's, originally was $200,000 reserved for COVID.
And
And then
there's an
out of
item
that-
in here also.
Right, and then out of that, we had 65 reserved for Paul Pope.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, budget adjustment from available appropriations, A, weather emergency, $6,850.
This is actually going up to $10,265. We had a late invoice come in yesterday.
Okay, and I asked Nolan, the court had approved it, but I asked Nolan to look into it because I know during this time we were helping with the emergency, COVID and everything. And I asked him to look into it for the next fiscal year to check and see, bring it back to the court to check and see if we're really gonna keep doing it.
Can we get federal money to reimburse for this?
We're gonna have to look for it, we're gonna ask for it, yes. In other words, we have a contract, this is part of the money that we have with the city for this weather sense or whatever.
Oh, no, this is all repairs. Yeah, this isn't the weather sense.
Oh, shit, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I shouldn't say I got mad at Roland, I wanted to know.
Okay. No, and I did, I talked with Roland because he thought it was that as well, but that's
Okay.
not, this is repairs.
Okay, because, yeah, I visited with Roland.
What, man?
These are, two of these were water pumps, so just repairs on vehicles. We had one precinct 2, one parks, and then the other 3,000.
So I need to go apologize to Roland.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve out of contingency and that if we get reimbursed through FEMA or somebody, the money be put back in contingency.
What is the amount, Commissioner?
$10,265.
Second.
Now, we're gonna cover the funding contingency later on, in this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Commissioner Nettleton had a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw had a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Yeah, I got off, but we had a whole discussion on Friday with Roland. Yeah, it was not good.
Okay.
Either. Item B, computer maintenance, $5,000.
Okay. This was our computer maintenance and particularly budgeted, but earlier this year, you guys did take some out for some EDOC licenses, I believe, and then you said, well, when we run out of money to come back, so a key
Right.
story. Right. So we're gonna need 5,000 from somewhere.
And there's no other place to get this other than contingency.
For right now, I can start next court simulating, our appropriation savings from certain accounts.
Motion to approve out of contingency.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. Second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. C, Veterans Office, $600 for maintenance and fuel and to travel and training fund.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. Second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report, thank you, sir. Treasurer's report, didn't see one. Aaron?
No
Good.
report, Judge.
Thank you.
No need for one.
Items 16 and 17, if y'all don't mind, item 16, present a resolution honoring Ms. Valverde, Ms. Valverde 18, guys, I'd like to table that.
Motion to table.
Second. A motion to table, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
We'll vote. Item 17, also, if y'all don't mind, I'd like to table,
Motion
discuss
to
possible.
table.
Second motion, Commissioner Nettleton,
Second.
second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 18, discussing matters relating to COVID. Bottom line is our numbers are down. Letters are going out. If they haven't already gone out on Thursday, Friday, we will be cutting back on personnel with COVID. that deal with COVID, and hopefully by the middle of the month of June, towards the end of June, we're planning on, those will be our last dates for the county and city to be handing out vaccines, unless something changes and we get a spike or something.
What percent do we have vaccinated, Judge?
You know, we were at 36,000, they're saying that we have 36,000 people that are eligible, between 16 and older. I couldn't get the numbers from what the number's gonna be between 12 and 16. I'm going the wrong way around. But we'll have about 24,000, it looks like, individuals fully dosed by the end of June. So,
Who's doing the one
60
for
some
the
odd
school
percent.
district? Sir, are we doing the one for the school district?
Yes,
The one that they start this week?
yes, yes. City County is the one, they actually, on Saturday, they did quite a few people
Mhm.
that were 12 and older. Basically, they opened up that bottom group with Pfizer. And then Dr. Rios had asked if we could have some clinics at the schools, and we are working on those.
There's one this Thursday, I know, because I've got my kids in it, so I didn't know if we were doing it.
No, it's the city, it's the hub or the group, the city and county doing it for the school district.
So we'll continue that to get to the second dose?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Move
sir.
along.
Yes, sir. And we still had, I think, last week when we were talking, we had about 3,600 still vaccines available for Pfizer, first dose, and then we have the second dose also available for Pfizer. So we'll make sure whoever gets vaccinated with the first dose, that there's enough here, to do the second dose, but it's usually a 3-week deal, so that's what I'm saying, towards the end of June, we should be done. That percentage, about 60 some odd percent of the ones that they're saying are eligible. If that percentage will drop a little bit because of the number of 12 and, between 12 and 16, that was not figured in.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you look at the numbers, you're gonna have quite a few people that just don't want it.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Judge, do we have any active cases of COVID?
I think last night when I checked, or last week when I checked, we had 22.
Okay.
On Thursday. They had, I will tell you that there was, we had no hospitalizations, at that point in Del Rio, but there was some individuals, if I remember correctly, was on the report.
There was some in San Antonio,
Out of town. So, we're doing better, especially, you look at some point, last year we were, one of the, there for several weeks, we were over 1,300 active cases, so you go down to 22. We did have some cases when we had one individual in the hospital, the week before last, at the end of the week before last, and, it was, immigrant. It wasn't immigrant. So it wasn't, individuals from here. Then one day we had, four individuals, that had popped up positive, and three of them were individuals that were dealing with immigrants. So, I guess that's a discussion for the next item, but either way. Do I have any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay. I tried to be prepared for your questions this time, Martin. Discussion on immigrants, again, I mean, when you look at the numbers, I guess our high month, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, is probably March, beginning of April, right? I mean, it looked like our high numbers, but are we, I know the other day you said that 88, and then we had 100 and something that y'all were sitting on, right?
So,
So I think that the numbers are increasing, over the last 7-8 days. I think there was right at about 1,200 people from Venezuela only, not counting Cuban or Africa or anything else. I was able to get those numbers because I had some, media from, Florida interested only in the Venezuelan individuals, so that's the number that I come up with. But last night at 8:30, 9 o'clock, they were sitting on 86 at that one location in the Vega. So it's just people are continuing to come, and it's not going to slow down.
Now, when y'all pick those up, immigration comes and picks them up, processes them, and then releases them, if they're not from Mexico.
So what takes place, when we encounter them, we call Border Patrol. Border Patrol comes and picks them up, takes them to their facility, processes them. The family units, more than likely, are going to get released to the NGOs right down here in Las Vacas. The adult individuals will get sent to a nice processing center, and probably 36 or 72 hours, they're probably released if they meet the qualifications.
But again, the ones that they're sending back are people from Mexico, Guatemala, and Salvador, right?
Yes.
Everybody else is staying here.
And depending on the circumstances, even some of those might get to stay, but in answer to your question, yeah, the majority of them get sent back. They had, I think there was, he sent me a scale of the nationalities, and I think I counted 29 different nationalities. He did send me that there was 31, and I counted 29 different nationalities that are coming across right now, which is just amazing. You know, I came unglued a little bit, or on one of the interviews. I've only done one, but you know, sort of got real emotional. You have, you know, our veterans officer is here, and you know, you have so much that we need to do for the people that are already here, and you know, we don't set that money aside, you know, because evidently we don't have it. But here we're forced to go spend money on individuals that we're catching that are doing the smuggling. And, you know, me and you were going back and forth on how much money, but, you know, it would be safe to say that if this trend continues, at least by the end of the year, we'll have spent, it's going to cost us $500,000.
Yeah, we're on target to hit that. The jail population has not decreased. Had a meeting with the Assistant United States Attorney last week, and he and the District Attorney are in talks right now to see what cases they will take, so that takes that number off of us and puts them on that. So, but I don't know how that's going to work out just yet.
Yeah, and that cost is only the cost you see. It still doesn't include all the court costs that you have to come, all the prosecution costs that you have to come, plus we're still going to have to provide them with attorneys and all of those costs. So, I mean,
No, it's just a snowball.
the burden on the taxpayers will probably be closer to $1 million by the time this is settled.
When you take all that into consideration, more likely, yes.
And that's being picked up by the local taxpayers, it's not being picked up by the feds or the state.
No, that's why, you know, we're making a push to move them from the state side to the federal side.
And y'all are doing a great job. I mean, I'm more irritated with the feds and the state for putting us in this situation, because the local people are the ones that are picking up the tab for this. And, you know, the kind of money we're spending could be utilized for the veterans, for the children, for other things.
You know, and I want to thank David. You know, he actually, between him and Judge Moses, we had that meeting there with Judge Moses. And again, I mean, y'all are working towards trying to move some of these individuals out and put them on the federal side. So again, David, thank you. Thank you, Sheriff, for trying to get that done. It's just unbelievable, though, the amount of money we're fixing to spend, you know, and I started to say with our veterans officer here, I mean, we have individuals every day that need housing, that are veterans, that need food, need it, and we don't, you know, we're doing the best we can, but yet we get this other thing shoved down our throat. It just leaves a bad taste, either way.
Are we going to run out of room in here?
Right now, we're on the verge. I've asked for a soft-sided shelter, but I've got no response. So that's our next move, is to move them from the state side to the federal side if they take some of those cases. So that'll give us a little breathing room. What also surfaced late last week. So because of COVID, TDC was not taking some of these inmates, so they just lifted that. So we're going to be moving some to TDC, which will help us a little bit, but not to the point where we need to be yet.
The problem with the soft-sided tents, then we run into more costs. You know, that's stuff that we ain't even begun to figure.
Yeah.
So you take the $500,000, take the $1 million number, and then it's like, oh, whatever we were planning on that we might spend, it just goes through the roof, and there's, you know,
Yeah.
it just gets really expensive now.
Yeah, that's why I asked for that and the overtime to pay for that, to be able to man it also.
You asked for it from who?
So I went through DPS, the regional director, I went through, the colonel. They were in contacts with the governor's office, but,
And they would assist with funding of that?
well, I placed the funding on them. Don't need enough.
No,
taking
I
it out.
understand, but I
Yeah,
mean, you know, the intent is that.
yeah, that they pick it up.
Funding.
Yes.
Thank you,
Is
Sheriff.
that it? Okay.
Thank you. Do I have any other questions? None. Item 20, discussion possible action approving request from County Court at Law regarding student non-paid internships from Salwa State University for 2021 summer and fall, spring 2022. He's not asking for any money.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0 vote. Discussion possible action on employees' insurance rate. Just trying to get y'all some information and so y'all will understand that I think we went, $506 or something to $547, if I'm not, $506.58 to $547.10.
Why did it go up so much?
Huh?
Why did it go up so much?
Because we had a lot of claims in two or 3 months.
Mr. Vesco's here from TAC,
Oh,
and Mark is also here.
We got a zero increase when we got a cash rebate from the distro. And this year we are gonna get a distro once again, so that will offset the rate, but.
We were told in June, July that we had an increase. Is that right?
Last year?
In claims. Go ahead. David.
Oh, an increase in claims.
Yes, yes.
Not an increase in rates that we-
No, increase in claims. No, he asked how come the increase in the rate. The increase in the rate was because we had increase in claims.
Right.
You scared me, I thought, maybe I shouldn't hear it.
Well, Ernesto may want to speak to this, but because of COVID, it was, April, May, almost like claims went down to 30% of normal, but then they rebounded because of all the deferred action, people with all kinds of conditions that weren't taking care of themselves, weren't getting their medication, weren't getting the care they needed. And so then they all came rushing back in June, July, August. And that drove up the claims quite significantly, and that's not just at Valverde County, that's pool-wide across the state. We saw that trend, and so we had very high claims in the entire pool through the summer of last year. Ernesto, do you want to add to that? Can we hear you?
Can y'all hear me?
So we turn the volume up?
Anybody can hear me?
We can hear you, but just barely.
Better? How's that better?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Not really.
Good
Our
morning.
speakers all the way up.
Apologize, I wasn't able to be there, but, this renewal season, this renewal, it has been very unusual. As you know, we're coming out of COVID, hopefully we're coming down to the end, but, as Mark said, we did, for this year, we did see a huge surge in high-cost claimants, as well as claims related to COVID-19. The total medical cost for Valverde County, you only had about, COVID claims, 4% of your total medical cost was due to COVID. So a very small percentage of COVID claims, that 4% only impacted the total medical costs. So basically, you have other things going on, that Mark will talk a little bit more when he discusses his, wellness recommendation, but you have other high cost claimants that are going on that, and COVID has not really affected them. Okay, so your loss ratio, which is, loss ratio, what we're looking at is your contribution that we're collecting from you, from the county to pay your claims, is a lot less than what we're paying out in claims. So the county right now is running about 104% loss ratio, where for the pool as a whole, we want to target a 94% loss rate. ratio. But individually, we would love to see the county at an 86, 88% loss ratio. But right now, last year at this time frame, we were running about 87%. This year, 104% loss ratio. So there's been an increase in claims so far for this year. So the pool renewal, the average was a 7.3%. That is what's needed for the pool amount, which means depending how our county members performed or how their claims history is, there's to be a percentage that would be getting the 7.3% or higher. And then if there were some counties that performed a little bit better, they're going to be getting either the 7% needed increase or below. Okay, so y'all are coming above by 104% loss ratio. So what's helping the county is that you're 4% younger than the tactical average age. Okay, so y'all are younger. Okay, and another thing that helps towards your renewal is that the area of service, the cost service out there in your area is 14% less than the average cost statewide. Okay, which is good. All right, but because of your high loss ratio, your rate's going to go up 8%, and as Judge Owens said, it's going to be around 4. I'm sorry, I apologize. 6. It's going to be 5. Right now, the employee-only rate is $5.0658. It's going to increase to $5.4710, which is a $40.52 increase with the employee-only. Y'all pay 100% of that employee-only premium, so it's going to go up $40.42. The dental as well is going up 6%. That's going up about 96 cents. Okay, just for the dental. Okay, so that's going up a little slightly as well. Your life rates are remaining the same. So the basic life and the basic retiree that you offer at the county, those rates are going to remain the same. So there's no increase. So we really want to focus on the medical, which is increasing at 8%, and then your dental, of course, is 6%. All right. Does anybody have any questions about that right now? I do want to go over a little bit what's in the renewal packet. That's really important. But before I go,
we can. Ernesto, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to come back to the court before we get into the budget process.
Okay.
If you don't mind, we can come back. You can come back then. I just wanted to give the court an idea of what we're searching, what we're going to be looking at when we go through the budget process. It's a $115,000 over the year increase, depending on the employees. But right now, with what you gave me, the 236, it's a $114,000 increase. But I just, wanted to make sure that the court understood what we're looking at before we get into our budget process and what that's going to be. So, do I have any other questions for Ernesto? No. Okay. We're good, Ernesto.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right.
Sir,
Sir.
do you want me to do a 30,000-foot, 2-minute nutshell of the wellness part to go with that? Or
yeah, a nutshell.
Yeah, super nutshell. So this sheet, I just wanted to give you like what I want to show, and I had a much deeper, detailed discussion with Judge Owens on Juanita last week. But I want to look at the patterns that are in this. So if we look at the chronic conditions, all the ones that are highlighted in yellow, those are related to heart and blood sugar, right? So a lot of your chronic conditions, and look at the numbers there, some pretty high overall total money spent on these conditions, and those are all modifiable conditions. If we turn to the next page in our Healthy County participation, you see annual physicals are pretty decent. That's part of your wellness incentive, but we'd like to bump that up more. The other screenings, not so good right now, but of course, in a COVID year, that threw everything off, right? People are thinking survival. They're not thinking, let's take care of ourselves. Let's do the best thing, right? So we want to turn that around going forward. The program parts, things like Livongo, Amada, Natural Eastland, those are the things that precisely address heart disease and blood sugar issues. So these numbers are pretty low for that, and we'd like to see numbers, 50, 60, 70, 80 people participating in these programs, given your population and the percent of people that have heart and diabetes-related issues. So we would definitely want to drive that. Moving to the high-cost claims, chronic conditions, and ER observations, your chronic conditions and high-cost claims pretty much matched up. Again, heart-related, blood pressure-related, diabetes-related. It was interesting to note your most recent report, 43% of your emergency room visits were flagged as non-emergency at a total of $72,000. Now, that wouldn't drop to zero if nobody went to the emergency room for a non-emergent issue, because they still go elsewhere for care, but it would be far less because, as you know, emergency rooms are actually way less. So we want to do something about that. So our recommendations are to conduct an urgent and emergent care campaign. We've already scheduled a employee training coming up, so I encourage all of your employees to come to these. We'll conduct multiple sessions at the library. And while we're there, we're going to help people sign up for some of these programs, get proactive, sit there with a laptop or an iPad. And we definitely want to drive the participation in these programs. We'd also recommend that we restart the wellness committee, get that going to help create a groundswell of support for making better choices. And then finally, if the county chooses to go to a non-grandfathered plan, either this year or in a year in the future, we'd recommend changing your wellness incentive back to the way it was a couple of years ago when we first started, because that was driving better participation the way it was structured. But there was a rule about grandfathered status and the incentive that we had to change it for the time being. But if we decide to go non-grandfathered in the future, we'd recommend tweaking that back also. That's all I have. Any questions?
I think one of the things we talked about is that there's tests out there available that is men and women we need to go do. I think the
preventive services stuff, colonoscopies, mammograms, PSA tests, absolutely.
Go get tested, I guess was going to be the message. That way if we can catch it early enough, we don't, I hate saying it's because it's the dollars, but at the end of the day, if we catch it early enough,
it's lives and dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a testimonial video that we'll share at the employee training that covers that.
I went to go get tested, what is it, for colon cancer or whatever, and they put you to sleep, right? When I woke up, the lady says, "You need to get tested, your ex-wife is here to see you." Well, how long have I been asleep? That's a true story. That was quick. But I did holler at the guy, the one they mentioned his name, wanted to make sure that he didn't have something else done that made me switch parts. But it's important, though. I mean, we were having that conversation. It's important. We need to go get tested, men and women, for different types of cancers and but it's important to try to catch this before, catch it
early.
Okay.
Thank you,
sir. Discussing possible action on the increase for retirement. And again, I'm just bringing this to y'all so y'all get an idea what we're fixing to go through.
When's the last increase we've done on retirements?
I'm sorry, the number 22, it's our, what we pay for our employees.
Yeah, but what's the last time?
What's the what now?
What we pay on insurance for employees?
No, sir, this one's for our retirement. I think it was at 12.29.
Yes.
And I think what you sent out the other day was 12.93. So there's going to be an increase there.
But prior year it was 12.9 and dropped
back up. So we're going to go back up we're going to go to 12.93, which is, a little bit of an increase also. But again, I'm just trying to inform the court as to what we're doing. Matt did scare the heck out of me with 21, I think, on our insurance.
I told the wrong number and I apologize.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, we were taking more blood pressure medicine and diabetes medicine and everything else. Yeah. But either way, he got it straightened out. Appreciate that. Item 23, discussion of possible action on setting a a date for employee appreciation ceremony, and I think, Juanita, the date that was
We
available,
have December 10th.
are y'all okay with that? And that would be on a Friday?
Yes, sir.
Are y'all okay with that? December 10th
Yes,
for
sir.
employee appreciation?
That'll work.
Sir?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion, is that be okay?
Second.
Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, discussion possible action on use of fairgrounds for county events and set dates. What they're talking about, Juanita, what we are doing,
Edgar had come to the committee and we've been meeting. We've had several meetings in the last couple of weeks regarding having an event, sort of like the Noches Musicales at the Brown Plaza. But it would be at the fairgrounds. Hire a band to play, have, the food trucks come set up. We wouldn't charge the food trucks. The only thing that we're finding ourselves up against is paying the bands. Having done some research with the lady that does the Noches Musicales, they pay $800 to the band.
Juanita, pay for the band, the judge has a budget, special events.
Yes, sir. And that's where I was,
Right
that's
now,
where I was going to.
well, right now, I think the main thing is going to be if y'all are gonna be okay with us moving forward, any monies that we might spend, we'll have to come back to the court for it. But we need to make sure that y'all are okay in setting, some of the dates that they had planned, that y'all are okay with us doing it. And as we move forward, we'll bring it back to the court, but I don't wanna be planning on anything that the court's not gonna support and, do what? What dates? What dates?
Edgar has the.
Edgar, do you have the dates?
He's muted.
You need to unmute.
Yeah, let me unmute.
It's the best conversation we've ever had. You need to, there you go. Now you can talk. Go ahead. What were the dates, Edgar?
We're gonna start, June, I believe it was the 10th, and then every other week after that.
Every what now?
Every other week, every month, the second week of the month, of every month.
If y'all are okay with that, then we can bring something back to the court.
This is an event for the community.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Y'all okay with that?
Motion to approve.
All right. Second Commissioner, motion Nettleton, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez. Y'all were tied this, I'm not.
No, that's fine, no
Okay.
problem.
All those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 25, discuss possible action on accepting 2 properties that the school district wants to donate to Valverde County. Y'all should have.
Motion to approve and authorize the judge to bring back.
Can we find out where the property are located?
We had legals, they weren't in the package, Lisa. One of them's on Rodriguez Street, and, one of them's on Broadway.
Second. Is this raw land or
Those
does it
are
building?
actually schools.
Oh, schools, okay.
They're the school districts, one of them is Old Cardinal, on Rodriguez, and then the other ones that go on, I think, will pass Hill.
In Houston.
Then Houston.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
I think one of the things is, Rick, will approve it, and, check if there's any asbestos before we just jump in the middle of this.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve pending asbestos and inspection report.
Second.
And motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Discussion possible action on looking into 40 to 60 acres for baseball fields and parks to be donated off of 90 West from Margarita Street. Commissioner Nettleton, I think y'all have looked at this, during the plan for a sports complex.
Yes.
And it'd be approximately the same property. There was some stipulations that the landowner put on it as far as, water and stuff like that, but I think we could make that happen. Because this would also serve as a retention system, for the Darrell hedges and everything below that. So I think that, we needed authority to move forward, and I think, you have the plans also for the sports complex that we'll be looking at.
I'll make a motion to authorize the judge to negotiate and bring something back.
Second, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Discussion and possible action, letter of support to open bridge for legal travelers. I didn't want to take off and do this.
Motion to authorize the judge to send the letter.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? 5-0 vote, discussion possible action to pay off loan. If y'all don't mind, if we could table that one after the executive session. Have a motion to table, Commissioner
Second.
Nettleton. You second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, discussion possible action on a budget adjustment for funds that were set aside for certain, we already did that one. Done. Number 30, discussion possible action requesting commissioner support for approval for a cell phone.
Move.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 31, discussion possible action requesting commissioner support for approval, increase, board of prosecuting unit, assistant district attorney salary from 70,000 to 86,000, which is the amount allocated, and I couldn't find that. It's from 70,000 to 86,000, that it was allocated to be made effective pay period 12. But in the thing that I had, Matt, there was 70,000 set aside.
What thing do you have?
Sir?
What thing do you have?
What thing?
You said that.
This is a big
approach.
This is what, it's a board of prosecutor attorney, and then I had 70, but she says it was 86. I couldn't find nothing on it that was 86.
There is 86, in the state budget, which you guys budgeted for that position was 70, but it is eligible to go up to 86.
So she has the money, I just wanted to make sure before we jumped off the sun.
So we budgeted 70, man?
You did, yes.
But there is 86 in the state side budgeted for that.
Correct.
line item. So the money is there.
Correct.
Have a motion? Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 32, approval of capital, purchase of an office shredder for county judge's office, price not to exceed $1,700, to be paid out of county judge's capital.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. Sir?
Moving from office to capital.
To office to capital is what General wanted to do. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 32, approval of capital purchase of a desk for 83rd District Court at a price of $743.94 to be paid out of 83rd District Court capital outlay.
Move. Didn't we just buy furniture the other day?
That's for
That was probably 60.
63.
So here, where are we moving to from? Sorry. What do you guys want to do? The best place on this is probably that juror expense line item.
Okay, so I need a motion to move the money out of the juror expense into capital outlay, $743.94. I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second.
Second.
Second. Who wants it?
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. 5-0 vote. Item 34, award or reject bid 21-06 aluminum materials for fairground grandstands to 30 Steel Company at a price of $110,226 paid out of Fairgrounds project line item. We had actually had $135,000 set aside for that out of the $932,000 that this court set aside.
This was low bid.
This was, yes, that's the only bid. That's after we kept going out.
Motion.
We actually had to call them.
Nobody bid it.
They're actually the aluminum bleachers that are already.
Oh, that's aluminum.
Yes, sir. I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. 5-0 vote. Item 35, approval of capital purchase of pneumatic roller for precinct 3 road and bridge at a cost of $99,213.84 through Sourcewell Co-op contract number 032119-CAT to be paid out of precinct 3 road equipment 2021 tax.
Move.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. 5-0 vote.
On that one, we've only got budgeted 66 left in that budget. There is 11 in precinct 3 capital, so that's going to leave a remainder of around 21 that we're going to need to move from somewhere
What do you mean?
in the budget. That's what the numbers say. You had 500,000, and you've already bought some equipment, correct?
Yes.
Unless something was put in your account on mistake.
Okay, let's just do numbers. We had 500,000. How much money out of that account had been spent?
I'll have to get the numbers. Elizabeth has the numbers.
Okay. All right.
So,
We table it or bring back?
Yeah, let's table it real quick. We'll bring it back. No big deal.
Motion to table.
Second.
Bo,
Yeah.
you do away with your motion? Is that what we're gonna do? Okay. A motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez, to table. All those in favor? 4-0 vote. Item 36, revision of plat, replat, modifying lot 10 and 11, block 1, Rio Grande South.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning,
Morning.
Commissioners.
How's it going?
Fine, and you?
Good. This is the one that you'd already taken?
Yes, it's, I took it to the staff, and this is the first time that I'm gonna be presenting this, and the motion will be to determine that there's no public harm of any other interest, to take it to the website for 30 days, and I'll bring it back.
Do you have a motion in that regard?
Motion approved.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 37, revision of the plat, establishing lot A, 10.5 acres out of lot 5 and lot 6, Salem Point subdivision.
This is the same case. This is the first time that I'm gonna present this, and then I'll post it on the county website for 30 days, and I'll bring it back. This was already
Do you have
approved
a
by the
motion opposed?
staff.
Motion.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second,
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 38, authorize county judge to sign text dot form 1058 permit request to construct access driveway for County Road Bayview Drive South intersection with US Highway 90 West. Any motion?
Motion approved.
And motion, Commissioner Vasquez.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 39, discussion on what to do with the totes that were used for disinfectant. I advised Edgar to call the commissioners, see if y'all wanted them. Any totes that are not left, to either, put them up for, well, they need to be put up for auction. So do I have a motion to that regard?
Motion, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second. Who second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. The other one was a 4-0 vote. Okay. Item 40, discussion possible action authorizing Valverde Sheriff's Office deputies in conjunction with the United States Marshals to work overtime.
So this is a reimbursement type, program for, they're gonna do a sex offender registration compliance. They need some help in getting that done, coming up in the very near future. So they're willing to pay the overtime, for reimbursement to these deputies, or to the county.
Have you looked at it?
I had not seen this.
No, they just, sent a letter.
So could the
But
motion,
there's gonna be money there to pay the overtime. I mean,
Yes,
in that program.
yeah.
so could
Motion to
the,
approve.
well, I think Juan had the motion.
Okay,
So can part of that motion be that, go before our county attorney?
Yes, sir.
Pending approval?
Correct.
All right, have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Flores seconded it. All those in favor? 4-0 vote. Item 41, authorizing Monica Barrera, HR Director, to accept safety equipment from 2021 TAC Risk Management Program Employee Safety Equipment for precinct and fairgrounds employees. Have a motion.
Motion, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second. Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. 4-0. Item 42, discussion and approval of converting clerk 3 position to a clerk 4 with a base pay change of $27,800 to $29,139, and converting the clerk 1 position to clerk 2 with a base pay of $24,550 to $26,595 in the county clerk's office. She's had these positions posted, and she wanted to change them, that way she could hire personnel that were capable of doing a little bit more, in the office.
But what is it said, base pay for the?
That was the base pay, she changed the clerk positions in order to set a base pay.
The title.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye, 4-0 vote. Discussion approval of overtime Payment to precinct 4, April 24th and 25th, May 1st through May 2nd, 2021, to include foreman plus any future vaccine distributions.
Motion to approve.
Second, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. 4-0 vote. Item 44, discussion and approval of amending hired letter transfer of Guadalupe Puente from Fairgrounds Precinct 2 from April 26th to April 23rd. Basically, we're changing the dates a couple of days, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second. Have a second. I'll second.
I second. Well,
You seconded?
no, that's fine, go ahead.
No, you seconded.
You did.
Second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? 4-0 vote, I'm sorry, Commissioner.
No.
I can't be worried about it.
Approving,
It's just a second. Approving human resource report from April 30th, 2021 through May 24th, 2021.
everything good, Juanita?
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor say aye. Aye. 4-0 vote, all those against. None. Item 46, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, parentheses 1, parentheses no, contemplated litigation. If y'all will, we're gonna take a little 5-minute break, and then, we'll go into executive session.
Recording stopped.
At
least now I want this.
Okay, we good? Commissioners Court will now come back into session. No action was taken in executive session. We're gonna move to item 50. Discussion possible action on a budget adjustment to move money from contingency COVID back to contingency.
I'll make a motion to move the 100,000 out of the COVID contingency back to regular contingency.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 47, discussion possible action on approval to go out for RFQs for an external auditor.
I'll make a motion to authorize the purchasing agent to go out for RFQs for an external auditor for the next fiscal year audit.
Okay. Okay, we currently have a contract, but we know we can still do the RFQ. Is it a performance or price issue?
I haven't seen them in 2 years.
No. Right,
Okay, I have a motion.
he's
Commissioner
willing to come
Nettleton,
down
second,
in that
Commissioner
email
Warren.
that I've sent to you guys. He's just, in the email.
It's not a willing to come down. We pay him a lot of money to do it. It is his job to come back.
It is, but when you're ready, they're always asking for the schedule, and I said, I don't know, no one's gotten with me yet
Okay.
for the schedule. So
I have a
I'll
motion
schedule
then.
that for next court.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Warden, all those in favor?
All right.
5-0 vote, and you will schedule something for them to come down with the auditor there.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Discussion possible action on hiring an attorney for Commissioners Court.
I will make a motion to authorize hiring an attorney under the county attorney that represents Commissioners Court to set a salary of $86,000.
Money to come out of contingency.
Money to come out of contingency, for the remainder of this fiscal year and then to be budgeted for next fiscal year.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, discussion possible action set up a purchasing policy committee.
I will make a motion that we create a purchasing policy committee consisting of David Martinez, the county judge, Guillermo, and whoever else the court wants on it. And this committee will work on creating a purchasing policy and to meet with all elected officials and department heads on their issues and concerns in addressing their purchasing policy. We need some more members.
If we can add Tom to it.
Add Tom. Who else do y'all
And
want?
a member of the court, another member of the court.
Whatever member wants to serve on.
I'll join that committee.
I'll appoint.
I'll second that motion. All right, have a motion, have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0 vote. Tom, are we gonna call here? Right here. If we can get him on the phone.
The lines are off, we got a little remote or something, we got remote lines right now. First time doing this.
Two different ones?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You can do it. I know.
Hello.
How's it going today?
Hey, doing good, thank you.
We're actually in court, so don't talk bad about the commissioners. You're on speaker. He's gonna try to patch in, Arnold. Maybe. Lord.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Arnold Cantu, Norton Roseville Bright. He's away from his desk or on this other line. Please.
That should be Villasenor.
Mr. Villasenor?
Yes.
Okay, we couldn't get a hold of Arnold. But I've got a couple of questions. We had $2 million for Frontera, 1.3 for Odyssey, and then we had another $1 million set aside for food distribution. The question on the food distribution, the language, I'm probably talking to wrong person, but the language on that, if the court was to not set up a centralized food distribution, but to be able to use those funds in order to modernize the areas that we have right now and property that we would end up with in the future, is that still allowable?
Yeah, I apologize, but I do not know because.
Okay, I figured that'd be an Arnold question, but.
Yeah, now, I just sent a quick email to, there's another fella at Norton Rose that has been helping Arnold on this project, and I just sent him a quick email, checking with him, see if he's available to be interested, so.
If he calls in, okay.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get him in, Stephen? Do we get him in through phone or can we get him in through Zoom?
Kind of the same way that you were trying to dial in Arnold.
Yeah, we could try it now.
Okay, does he have, if you'll give me his number, then we can try to dial him in.
It'll be area code 512 536
Okay.
2421.
2421? Okay, is he there now if we call him?
I haven't gotten a response, but I would try him.
Okay, we'll try him.
If you get his administrative assistant, ask her or him to look for him.
Okay, who is he?
This is Matt, M-A-T-T, Lee, L-E-E.
Okay, that'll work. Do it. You got the number? Making noise. Yeah. Matt, this is Louis Owens, County Judge in Valverde County. You're actually on speaker, with all the members of Commissioners Court, in Commissioners Court as we speak, sir. So,
Thank you.
So, don't cuss. Matt, I had a question a little while ago. We've got $2 million set aside for Frontera, $1.3 million for Odyssey, and then we did $1 million for a food distribution. My question is, the language on that food distribution, would it allow us to, modernize the buildings that we have and then to basically fix other properties that we're in the process of acquiring? Or do I have to do one centralized food distribution? Good question.
Let me pull up the order real quick and check that language. So you're speaking, so this would be a county-owned facility?
Yes, sir. Everything would be a county-owned facility. I just want to make sure that before we do or do not pull the trigger on this deal, that I don't have issues with that $1 million and then end up basically our hands tied that now I've got to go do it. I've got to build a centralized location.
Sorry for that. No, that's the beauty of drafting the purposes language as it is that it allows the flexibility. So the food distribution center would be a county-owned facility. If there's, one or multiple of those, as long as they're county-owned, they would fall within that purpose.
So we're good then. If the commissioners want to modernize or build a new facility within their precincts, then that money could be used for that, or freezers or anything else having to do with food distribution.
But it has to be defined
As
strictly.
long as it's a county-owned facility, the purposes would include constructing it, equipping it with the freezers. I believe you said improving or renovating, so those are included in there as well.
What is the language for the use? Because, exactly.
Do you have the order in front of you?
I do not, sir.
Okay, fine.
I haven't-
On page 1, it lists out the purposes, and we've got, 4 purposes. The first purpose is county road improvement. Obviously, this isn't part of that. The second one is for county-owned facilities, and that purpose reads as follows: instructing, equipping, purchasing, renovating, equipping, enlarging, and improving various county-owned facilities. And so all those verbs in there are intended.
So we can use it
for
for,
most flexibility.
we don't even have to use it for food distribution. We can use it for anything intended that falls within the bounds of that definition.
Correct.
And then the other intent? That's
Number
it?
3 is purchasing, acquiring, and making other capital expenditures and equipment purchases, including the purchase of software, communication equipment, bulldozers, and paving equipment.
We left it pretty broad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's what I needed.
Okay. All right. And your recommendation, after looking at all the bids that came in, recommendation to go with which company? We've already looked at the numbers ourselves, but just y'all's recommendation. Anybody? That would either be, Raul or Matt. Both y'all still there? Hello?
Yes, sir. I'll defer to Mr. Villasenor on the bids that came in and which bids met the qualifications set forth in the consultation and granted that we're not the potential bidders.
Raul? Mr. Villasenor? We lose him? You lost him.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to call Mr. Villasenor back, because Stephen, you wanna call him back?
Which is why you didn't do it.
No, because I'd have lost everybody. Are you there, Mr. Villasenor?
I am.
Okay. Oh, man, that's awesome. Matt, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, heck, we got both of y'all on the same line now. Mr. Villasenor, Matt answered our questions on the other $1 million, and it's really broad, so we can use that money. So my question to you would be is, after going through the numbers, receiving all the bids, who would you recommend, for the certificate of obligation for the sale? Which entity?
We actually got some pretty incredible bids, including the best bid, from the bank that we would, recommend, and that's, the Bank and Trust, bank. They actually, provided us with, interest rates for the full period that are fixed, which in today's market,
It's unbelievable.
thanks, yeah, it's very, very unusual. The interest rates that they bid, including taking into account the cost of issuance, leaves us with a true interest cost of 1.312%. And that's probably the lowest rate, we've ever received, for a CO from, Valverde County. So we would recommend that, the court accept, the bid, from the Bank and Trust.
Okay.
I move that,
Okay.
Do you want to run the schedule by Raul?
Well, do you have, let's make a motion, get a second on it, and then we'll go to the schedule.
I move that Commissioners Court adopt an order authorizing the issuance of Valverde County, Texas combination tax and limited pledge revenue certificates of obligation series 2021, accepting the bank and trust.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. Matt, you had a concern, about the schedule, about when the payments would fall?
Good morning, Raul. How are you?
Just
All right. Yes, it's clear that they are buying in on the Fed's transitory statement.
And what the hell did that mean?
on these payment schedules.
Jesus Christ.
We've got the principal in August. Do we typically want that, or we typically want that moved in February?
Well, here's why we do it, on these longer term issues, Matt. Because, when we put principal in the August payment, the county will have gone through the complete cycle of collecting, property taxes for that year. We oftentimes worry that, sticking principal payments in February, is a little bit early in the fiscal year. And that's why, for these longer term issues, we schedule those principal payments in August.
Right.
The effect, Matt, of simply, and I know that it appears that, putting those payments in August, obviously, a little bit more interest will accrue. But it's really not that much given, the size of the issuance. But, yeah, that's why we do that.
Okay, yeah, and that's true, but we do have older debt on the books that we do have, August timeline, so we feel comfortable there, and then by the time that is extinguished, that'll actually be off the books. In addition to that, as you know, every county, 85% is collected by the time February rolls around, but that's the court's decision on that statement, but I was just wondering why.
Okay.
That's why we do that.
Okay.
You okay with it?
Yeah, that's fine.
You good? All right, I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton. A second. Was it Commissioner Flores? Yes. Second, Commissioner Flores, or was it Vasquez?
Flores.
Second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
Let's take y'all don't mind, just for the record. That way, Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote? Aye. Commissioner Vasquez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Nettleton?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Aye.
Judge, aye, 5-0 vote. We have an item on here, and Matt,
Who's Matt?
no, you Matt.
Okay.
We done with them?
Yeah, Matt, Matt Lee. Okay, David, I have to look him up. Matt Lee and Mr. Villasenor, thank you so much, appreciate it. If y'all need anything from us, just send us. That way I can start rubbing hand cream on my, lotion on my hand, and I start signing everything.
No, just to indicate to you in the court that, funds will be in the bank. We've got a scheduled closing on the CO issues of June the 17th. So that's when money will be in the bank.
Okay. Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much for everything that's all done. Appreciate it. And, it really is amazing the rate that Bank and Trust gave us, especially for the amount of years.
It floored me yesterday when I saw the bids for the first time.
Yeah, we should have borrowed more. But either way, we might go back and ask them, can we increase it? But either way, thank y'all so much. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna go on with other things unless y'all have something else. Mr. Villaseñor and
I
Mr.
don't have
Lee.
anything else.
Mr. Lee?
No, sir, nothing else from me.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah, good one. The Texas Community Bank on that, do you want to bring it back next time? Because I think that part of their interest rate was a lot higher than this one, so I think we could set aside some money, for the old Odyssey and other funds. Do you want to just put it on the agenda in 2 weeks to be able to pay that off? That way it helps
We
us.
can. It looks like we'll need about 76,000 from somewhere. Like that looks like our plug. To be able to pay that off.
Let me find the deal.
28.
Now, these are my numbers, so I'll verify these.
Okay, so let's do this. Action item on the agenda was tabled. We'll just go ahead and bring it back if y'all don't mind. It was already tabled. And again, I want to thank Bank and Trust. That is impressive for believing in our community and our county. So again, to the Darrell Bank and Trust, thank y'all so much. Commissioners' comments? Commissioners, judges' comments? I have none. The meeting went smoother than I thought, so I really do appreciate that. I wore my boots for no reason, so either way, I want to thank everybody. This was impressive, and the way that it looks right now, if all the numbers work out, we should not have a tax rate increase, just for the people that are out there, which is really impressive with the amount of money that we've been borrowing. So that's doing his beard, so I don't know whether he agrees with it. But either way, I want to thank everybody. Y'all have a good day. This meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all.